I'm joined here with Craig Copeland, and he is the fish culture manager with Alberta Environments and Parks. And now Albertans are now able to stock their private ponds and dugouts with tiger trout. So, can you just explain the changes that went into allowing this?
Yeah, so what's happening is that it took several years, but now people can order tiger trout from private aquaculture companies in Alberta, and there's quite a few of them, and are now, if their pond is licensed by the Environment and Parks, they can now put tiger trout into their ponds. It's really quite exciting. A lot of people put rainbow trout or brook trout in their ponds. Now they'll be able to order tiger trout and put tigers into their ponds and see how they do.
And was there, as you said, it took a few years. So, was there a lot of people asking for this rule to be changed?
Yeah, there's been quite a lot of people asking about tiger trout. It sort of originated back in Manitoba. A lot of people in Alberta have gone to southern Manitoba to fish for tiger trout in Saskatchewan. And then eventually the province started stocking tiger trout into a few lakes in 2005, or sorry, 2015, sorry. And then eventually, we've been up to 30 lakes now in the province that are getting stocked with tigers, and there's a big buzz. And now the private aquaculture industry is now going to be allowed to raise tiger trout inside their hatcheries and then offer those fish for the people to buy them and put them in their dugouts. Pretty exciting, actually.
Now, what will be some benefits that will come from this for fishers and people with their own private ponds?
Well, tiger trout are a cross between a brown trout female and a male brook trout. And so at the hatchery, at one of our hatcheries, we mix the two together, make a baby tiger trout. And it's quite a unique fish. It has a really neat color pattern. It's very pretty. And the beauty, the why the fishermen like the tiger trout is they can get very large. It takes a while, it takes time, but the way they hit the hook. So if you're fishing, uh, if you're a fly fisherman and your fly is at the surface, the tiger trout, what they do is they come from the bottom and they hit the fly and they go right down. And so if you're a fisher person, your rod, all of a sudden you've got an immediate hit and your rod's going down, and it's quite exciting. A lot of people enjoy catching tiger trout. And the lakes that we've been stocking since about 6 years now, the fish are getting really big. And so people are getting them, at Lower Chain Lake, they're getting very big. You see them on YouTube videos. People are making videos. It's pretty neat. We can't raise a lot of tiger trout in Alberta at the hatchery, but the private sector will be able to sell to the customers, and probably what they're going to be telling them is for every 10 rainbow trout that you would buy, maybe you could buy maybe a couple of tiger trout. So you wouldn't want to put a lot of tigers in your pond, just a few.
For those looking to purchase these, what does the process look like?
You can just do a Google search and look for private aquaculture hatcheries in Alberta. There's quite a few of them scattered around the province, and those individuals will be working with us, and they'll either purchase an eyed tiger trout egg from us or a small fingerling. They'll grow them inside their facilities and then decide as a business person when they want to sell that fish to the private individual to put in their pond. One thing everybody's got to remember when they want to purchase a tiger trout, you want to make sure that your pond will always overwinter fish. So some ponds in Alberta will not overwinter fish. They run out of oxygen and the fish die. But some people are blessed with some really deep ponds that may have a spring on them. And so tiger trout could live continuously in this pond. We have a fish that in the hatchery that we spawned in 2012, and it's still with us, and it's over 20 pounds. So it's getting to be about 8 or 9 years old, and it's very long. They get very long and very deep with beautiful striping on them.
Well, thank you so much for joining me today, Craig.
Thank you for having me.